So Neeraj Chopra just became the first man in Indian history to get an Olympic gold medal in the track and field athletics division. Like for the past one day, all the news channels have been covering the same information. But let me just reiterate to you the significance of this victory. India has been part of the Olympics since the year 1900, and since then till date itself, India has altogether won only 10 Olympic gold medals. Of these 10 Olympic gold medals, 8 Olympic gold medals belong to the hockey division and 1 Olympic gold medal belongs to the rifle shooting division. The remainder 1 gold medal is the one that was won yesterday by Neeraj Chopra in the javelin throw, which becomes the first in the track field athletics division. Now this was a long time dream of the late great Milkha Singh, and he wasn't able to do it, and it was also the dream of the greatest female runner in Indian history, PT Usha, and she was also unable to do it, and Neeraj Chopra has done it in style. Now most people already know about the fact that Neeraj Chopra is coming from the army background, and most people are also aware of the fact that Neeraj Chopra is coming from a humble household belonging to a farmer in the state of Haryana. The reason that I'm making this video is because this man, the 23-year-old Neeraj Chopra, was not always this fit and this athletic. Rewind his story to the year 2009 and you will find 11-year-old Neeraj Chopra, who was an obese 90 kg weighing kid who was unable to even walk properly. He was constantly being taunted by all the villagers and being made fun of all his classmates for being overweight. The heartbroken 11-year-old Neeraj Chopra was adamant about losing weight and hit the gym and joined the local sports club. He kept running around the stadium every day until he shed all of that body fat to become fit. It was there that he discovered his passion for track athletics, and in it he discovered javelin throwing. So guys, what you're seeing right now is not just any athlete winning gold medal for his country. Oh no, despite of the significance of his gold medal, you are seeing a man who was predetermined to be successful in his life. And it was that same willpower that once willed him to lose that weight and become fit is the same willpower that has currently willed him into scoring an Olympic gold medal for the country in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Now with all of this history out of the way, let's dive into the crust of today's video, which is a deep dive analysis into the Neeraj Chopra's training day workout routine. Unlike most of us fitness people, these athletes have a particular target in their mind and they work out in order to get closer to that target. In the case of Neeraj Chopra, that target is hitting the longest mark in the javelin field, and his workouts have been structured in that manner. So without further ado, let's get into the Neeraj Chopra's workout routine. So in total, Neeraj Chopra will be doing 15 different exercises. Now this is not all the exercises that he is doing, but the main exercises that he is doing with regards to the javelin throw. First off, he's starting off with some hurdle jumps. If you look at the hurdle jump, it is a perfect warm-up which helps a person focus on his jumping and landing skills and technique. It's a preparatory exercise for the upcoming plyometric exercises, and it helps build explosiveness in his quadriceps, in his calves and his glutes. Next off, he's doing some speed parachute running. Now this exercise is particularly done by athletes and it's more famous in the athletic realm. It creates a drag-like effect as you start to pick up the speed, and this in turn forces you to work harder to keep maintaining the speed and also increasing the speed. So this in turn results in an increased amount of overall cardiovascular strength and ability. Next off, if you look at it, he's doing an exercise that's very familiar with all of us gym goers, the incline bench press. Now why will a javelin thrower be practicing an incline bench press? Isn't it too much weight for him to handle? Well, not really. He is doing this because it works the clavicular head of the pectoralis major muscle, or more popularly known as the upper chest. This also works his anterior deltoid, which is the front part of the shoulder, and the triceps. All of these muscle groups contribute towards helping him achieve maximum distance in hitting a javelin throw. Next off, he's doing some shoulder mobility drills. Now the thing with shoulder mobility drills and Neeraj Chopra is that Neeraj Chopra has already had injuries in his past associated to his shoulders and his elbows. So he is doing more of these mobility drills because It both increases his range of motion, reduces his pain and tension in these muscle groups, and improves flexibility and helps him prevent any further injuries from occurring. Then he is doing some forearm strengthening exercises and forearm curls. Now, the forearm exercises in particular not just builds the forearm strength but also increases the grip strength. So if you're going to grip something like a javelin, which weighs typically around 800 grams, and hold it over your shoulder and keep running forward until you lean all the way back and fling the javelin forward, that requires a tremendous amount of forearm strength. That's the reason that he is giving particular importance to forearm strengthening exercises and forearm curls. Next off, he is doing some weighted rotator cuff mobility exercises. Now, again, because of his injuries in the past, he is focusing more on strengthening the rotator cuff so that he can rotate his shoulders more and build more endurance in the movement. Everything after this is to do with his core and hip strengthening exercises. Now, in the core and hip strengthening exercises, he is doing some side planks with his legs on some resistance ropes. Now, this both helps him to strengthen his obliques and build some hip strength while lifting his legs up and down. Then he is doing some ab extender exercises from the resistance ropes. Now, this in turn helps him build a better core strength and improves his hip mobility and movement. If you look at this exercise, he is in fact pulling himself back up, not just using his ab strength alone, but also his hip strength. So this exercise is helping him build his hip strength and his ab strength together. Then he is doing some seated med ball throws. Now, the medicine ball is a weighted ball that ranges anywhere from 5 kilos to 20 kilos. He is doing some of these med ball throws particularly because it helps him engage his core, shoulders, lat muscles and triceps. This in fact, when he performs it in a seated position, helps him build more upper body explosive power. Then he does some dynamic med ball twists. So you can see his coach is tossing a med ball to him and he is in a Russian twist position grabbing the med ball. Now in this grab, he is developing some grip strength and forearm strength because the med ball itself is a weighted ball. And then he does an oblique twist with it and throws it back to his coach. In this position itself, he is both activating his oblique muscles and he is building some explosive power in flinging the ball back to the coach. And this process goes on and on in one angle, and then he goes and hits it from the other angle for the oblique as well. And then he would do some med ball wall slams. Now the wall slam is a perfect exercise when performed with the med ball. It helps completely strengthen the core from inside out and it builds a lot of oblique strength. Apart from this, because he's grabbing the ball with that same velocity as it comes back and flinging it and flings it back on the wall, it helps him build a tremendous amount of grip strength and forearm strength as well. After this, he does some inverted cable rows. Now the inverted cable row just doesn't help in building some biceps and back alone like most people would have figured out by now. Since he's doing it with his feet stacked up on a platform, it helps him build a tremendous amount of core strength as well. Then he goes off to focus particularly on his calves. He does some single leg calf raises, which is particularly hard when you do it at the end of a workout. And he does like this for both his legs, and after that he starts training his abs. Now for his abs, he a lot of leg raises from an incline bench, which helps him build his core strength. Then he finishes his exercise off with some elevated hip raises. You keep your feet on top of any platform and perform a hip raise. It increases the time under tension and helps you build more hip strength. And that concludes the Neeraj Chopra's workout routine. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you found this video helpful and useful. If you did, hit that like button. Do consider subscribing to this channel and don't forget to turn on the bell notification so that you'll be informed whenever I upload my future videos. Also, if you know people in your friend circle who might appreciate content like this, do consider sharing this video with them so that the information spreads and more people will get to know about Neeraj Chopra's success story and his workout routines. So I'll talk to you in another video soon. Until then, stay home and keep it fit.